there, it's Christy with the Chirp YouTube channel. I hope you're having a great day. I certainly am. I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about affect and how we need to assess and adjust our affect in order to be the most effective with the kids in our lives, especially those who may have developmental differences. Affect is my total energy output when communicating with another human being. This is just my on-the-fly definition. I'll put a real definition down below. Basically, the things that you would think of as being high energy are high affect. Raised eyebrows, expressions that are big and bold and attractive to most people. These are things that are high affect. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, sometimes high affect can be too overwhelming for some of the kids we work with who have sensory challenges. For example, if a child is oversensitive to sensory stimulation, if a child is hypersensitive, too sensitive, that child may not be able to handle a higher voice volume. That child may not be able to handle engaging with you if your eyebrows are raised, if your eyes are big, if you're having very dramatic facial expressions or hand expressions or body movements that are large. Sometimes, in order to engage a child, we need to tone them down. We need to become a little more monotone. We need to turn our voice volume down. We need to make our face a little bit more placid and calm. We need to change our body movements. Maybe we don't move our hands around. Maybe we don't move our head as much. Perhaps we just slow everything down a bit. Changing how I communicate changes how my viewer or my partner responds. We need to assess how our level of affect is actually affecting the children in our lives, and in fact also the adults. Because of a health condition that I have, I'm often very easily overstimulated by too loud voices, too loud noises, textures that hurt, a variety of different things that can add to my level of fatigue and therefore decrease my functioning on any day. It helps that my husband has a very calm voice, that he doesn't do a lot of crazy, over-the-top physical behaviors when we're just having a conversation. He is a very calming influence and not one who adds to my physical fatigue. Think of kids as being either hyposensitive or hypersensitive. So too sensitive or not sensitive enough. We can kind of divide kids into those categories. Of course, we have kids who are right in the middle, and those kids vary from day to day. Some days they are needing a little bit more stimulation in the affect department, and some days they're needing a little bit less. Some days we have to turn it up a little bit to get them involved and engaged. Some days we need to turn it down to help them stay calm and regulated. This is the same for kids across the spectrum. But it's especially true for kids on the edges of functioning, where if you have the wrong affect, they maybe won't engage with you at all, or they may run away, or they may have a challenging behavior that we wish we weren't seeing. So, as you're engaging with a child, look at the child's body posture. If the child is very stiff, if the child is maybe doing some behaviors that in an adult we would see as stress, like making hands into fists, being very rigid, having kind of a wrinkly forehead or grinding teeth or a very high tense voice. All of these things are signs that that particular child may be oversensitive, may need less stimulation. These are the kids where we turn it down, We lower our voice volume and pitch. For women, it's very important not to use that high squeaky voice that sometimes you might use with other children or with other women. That can come off as very strident and very offensive to children with sensory difficulties, as well as to a good portion of men and a good portion of other women. Be careful that your vocal pitch is reasonable, comforting, not offensive, strident, or sharp. Make sure that your vocal volume is appropriate to the situation, even calmer and quieter than you might expect for that particular situation. Make sure that your body movements are slow. Maybe not moving around at all would be a great choice to help this child stay calm and regulated. Keep your facial expressions minimal. Many children who have sensory difficulties also have difficulty reading emotions and not being overwhelmed by changes in facial appearance. Keep your face calm and kind of the same from one moment to the next. You can see that probably already you're feeling a little bit more sleepy, calm, and relaxed just because of my voice and my facial expressions and the fact that I'm not moving around very much. On the other hand, of course, we have children who are hyposensitive to affect. They are undersensitive. They cannot function very well with a demeanor that is calm and not very emotive, and that has low affect. Those children need us to be bright. They need us to be louder. They need us to make large motions. They need us to be like an amusement park with our affect. Our affect needs to be turned up. It needs to draw them in. We need to be where all the excitement is happening. Otherwise, they're going to droop on the floor and not engage with humanity. You can tell a child who needs a lot of extra affect by very low tone. These children are often very droopy. These children are often very resistant to human interaction because they need more than we're giving them. We're not exciting enough to get them over the hump of interacting with another human being. We can fix that by turning up our vocal volume, turning up the difference in the pitch and tone of our voice, talking in a low voice, talking in a high voice, singing, using rhymes, using colorful clothes, using colorful toys, changing more often the tone of voice, the pitch of voice, the expression on our faces, wearing a funny hat. All of these things can increase the likelihood that a child who needs more affect is going to be willing to engage with you. I hope this video gave you some things to think about when it comes to affect. Assess your own affect level and how your child or client or student is responding, and adjust your affect level as appropriate. If you are seeing the child kind of limp, he's not responding to your very calm demeanor, turn it up. If you're seeing a child who's very tense and rigid, and he keeps on turning away from you and covering his ears and burying his head and hiding under things, you're probably showing too much affect. You can turn it down. We can definitely affect how engaged a child is by changing our affect. Leave me questions down below if you have them, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.